Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and this will be an energy reading for the element of fire. So this is going to cover the energies of February and March, since I did miss February's energy readings last month. For a number of reasons. I have had a lot going on. So just a few quick things before we get into the reading. So please keep in mind that my tarot and oracle readings are for entertainment purposes only. So they are based on the interpretation of the cards and are subjective. I never offer advice, just ideas and perspectives for you to explore and think about. And also, please, as always, see the description box below for the full disclaimer. So sorry to keep bringing this up, but we're going to say it until we don't have to say it anymore. Please be aware that we're still dealing with scammers in the tarot community, okay? So if anyone reaches out to you via DM or private message offering readings or asking for money, just ignore, block, and report them, guys. Don't engage with them, okay? Scammers impersonate legit tarot readers. They take your money and disappear, and they're not going to give you a reading. So do not give them any personal information or send them any money. Legitimate tarot readers don't do business this way. I do not offer personal readings right now, so if someone reaches out to you offering readings, asking for money, that is not me. That's a scammer impersonating me, or a scammer impersonating another tarot reader. So, okay. So the reason I'm focusing on the energy of the four elements, earth, air, fire, and water for these readings is because I would like each of the 4 videos I produce each month to be useful or relevant for anybody who wants to watch them, because we all have the 12 zodiac signs in our birth chart, right? So we're all influenced by all 4 elements in some way. So regardless of your sun, moon, or rising sign, or whatever sign you usually watch these videos for, it can resonate for you. I mean, I'm a Pisces, sun, Cancer, moon, Cancer rising. Have a very water heavy chart, but I have, you know, a Mars in Sagittarius. My North Node is in Taurus. So there you have fire and earth, for example. So it doesn't matter. We all have a house that aligns with one house that 1 through 12 aligning with one of each of the 12 zodiac signs. So we have something from every sign going on in various areas of our lives. Okay, so now to get into it, this reading is going to have 2 parts. So first of all, there is the general energy portion, and then there's going to be a tarot reading portion, and I'm going to be using the crystal tarot deck for that when we get into it. So just to go back to February's energy, I have a summary here, and this was a channeled message. So I am just going to zoom in a little bit on this so we can have a look. So, sorry for the shaking there, guys. We are still getting all the, you know, all the setup and filming sort of figured out here. So I feel a more tender emotional side is going to show itself with fire signs. So this would have been for February, okay? The fires are small and contained and are burning for one person in particular. This need not be a romantic connection, but it is related to your relationships with those few people who mean or have meant a lot to you, and can therefore reach you at a depth most people cannot. There may be a season of grief here, so some of you are grieving something, okay? And for some, there will be a questioning of why someone is able to affect you this intensely. I'm also seeing a withdrawal of, or some alone time. I'm getting like the image of a candle burning brightly in a dark space, needing a sacred space, as it were, to properly mourn a connection with someone. As if shedding tears, weeping, and letting yourself fall to your knees in weakness is a private ritual of the devotion you felt to this person. You know these moments are not to be shared with anyone else. You can come out of your sacred space and rage like a forest fire afterwards, and nobody would ever know you weren't on top of your game. This is the nature of the fire signs. You have a passion for private moments and a passion for public feats of success, daring, bravery, and aggression. Honor both of these. In some ways, what you feel in private is deeper than anything you display in the public eye. And so I think that fire signs, we often think of water signs as being the most emotional. And I think, in all honesty, I was having this conversation with my friend Tony from The Abstractionist and Enter Red Room. And we were saying she said she feels that in a lot of ways fire signs are probably more emotional than water signs, because there's a lot of passion and emotion there. When we talk about emotions, emotions are not just, you know, sadness and crying and, you know, getting depressed and all the stereotypical water sign stuff. It's passion and anger and drive. And, you know, when you think of fire energy, it's very passionate, right? Like it has a certain, I think when fire signs are hurt, they often say that underneath anger is pain, right? So a lot of what you see with the anger and rage and the aggression of fire signs, wouldn't surprise me if beneath a lot of that, there's actually a great deal of pain and sadness, and here grief is indicated. So I'm going to sort of elaborate on this with what came up for March energy. So I did a separate energy channeling there for this month of March, and this is the continuation of the energy. So what I got was, you guys are going to be forced to admit something is bothering you, or else risk sabotaging something you're working on. So you know your emotions will get in the way of progress on a project that is dear to your heart if you don't admit you're rattled and tell someone who can help you. So if you're acting tough and unbothered, that's not going to be helping you this month. That can only lead to disaster in the long run. So this is about admitting you need help. So for those fire signs who are inclined to tough it out and basically say that they don't need help and they don't need, they don't want to acknowledge their some of this more private stuff because they feel it's a weakness. It's a time to let somebody you trust know that something is going on for you emotionally, that you're struggling, that you're hurting. Okay, so I am going to remove this for the time being, and what I'm going to do now is go into some tarot to sort of elaborate on what is this theme that we're seeing with something is bothering you. Something is emotions are you feel emotions are maybe getting the better of you. But what we're really seeing here, and I'm just going to pull cards as okay, the Hierophant. So we have something coming up here about belief, and also this could indicate something to do with a marriage or union as well, I'm seeing here. I'm just gonna, and we have the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So right off the bat, we have a major arcana, and we've got a, let's see, so this one, and then we also have the Ace of Wands. And then I would like an overall energy, and they're telling me to go for the bottom here. So we have the Eight of Pentacles. So here we have the, this is definitely having to do with, I saw for the energy of this particular month, there's a project you have underway that you're dedicated to as well. So you're really applying yourself and maybe trying to ignore what is going on here with what's going on in your emotional realm. You're thinking, oh, I can just, you know, ignore that and it'll be fine. I don't want to deal with it. And so we have a new beginning here with the Ace of Wands. And for some reason, I'm feeling like this energy of having to maybe start over. This is funny. What's coming to me here is sort of an overall energy that this is almost like a lesson, like something that needs to come forward for the fire energy, where what you believe, your orientation maybe in the world in terms of how you work and how who you are influences the way you work and the way you see things and the way, so this is something to do with beliefs here. The Queen of Wands has a very independent sort of energy here too that I pick up, like looking this way and the wand coming out that way. It's almost like, it's almost like another way is being suggested for you here, but you're resistant to it. That's what's coming through here. So let me just see. Now, normally when I read on my own and not on video, I will actually sit for a while and do some of, okay, so we have the Six of Swords here. So there's a moving ahead from what is going on here for sure. Because what I asked for here with this card is a sort of clarification of what does this Ace of Wands represent here. So if I'm getting a six, the Six of Swords is a clarifier here. The Six of Swords is often dealing with the mental realm as well, sort of this moving on to, interesting, the moon looks like there's a creature coming out of the water there too. There's almost like a, almost like you feel too that the powers that be, the universe or whatever it is, that your spirits or something greater than you is trying to shift you in a direction that's very different from where you actually want to go. So there is a sort of, it's almost a prior belief system that maybe you don't even know you have about how you go through life, and it's almost like a stubborn sort of energy here. Like it's almost like your philosophy that you live by. It's a part of who you are as well. And you're being encouraged to go in this, it's like a starting over sort of thing. Because I do feel with this, you know, not wanting to say that you need help. I think if you don't reach out to somebody and basically admit that, you know, this emotional turmoil is going on, I think there's going to be a bit of a, you know, the Queen of Wands has this independent, like, I'm just going to ignore this new beginning over here, and I'm just going to look this way. It's like, nope, don't want to know. I'm getting this feeling of, you know, nope, don't want to know, gonna do it my way. And here's the wand going the other way, and it's like, but there's something that would be really cool that you could do here. How about you try this? And it's no, don't want to know. And I feel that if you keep, it's almost like if you keep sort of ignoring what is going on internally, somehow that forces you to start something over. And it's not a bad thing, but I think wherever you are right now, you don't want it. You don't want to see that happen. You just want to continue on with what you have going on here. And it's interesting for some of you, and this may not resonate for everybody, but I'm seeing, like, with the Hierophant, I got a bit of a there might be a partner or somebody in your life. Maybe it's somebody you have been dating for a while, or somebody you are married to, perhaps a spouse, who is sort of trying to maybe bring in some other ideas here or something, and you're not really having it. You kind of just want to continue on with it's a very interesting, it's kind of it's sort of vague to me, if I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm having, sometimes it's difficult to put into words exactly what you are feeling. I read incredibly intuitively. So, okay, so they're dropping the Moon card here. So it's I'm going to sit with this for a while, and we're going to see what I think you're sort of confused about why this is happening too, with the emotional stuff. So you're feeling it, but you're wondering why at this particular point in time it's getting the better of you. And I think it's because this, like I said, this shift here with this starting over, the Six of Swords asking you mentally to switch gears, to move ahead to another another phase of your life here. While in this energy here, you sort of just want to continue where you're at with whatever you have going on. You're thinking, no, this is my way, this is how I want to do it, and I'm going to apply myself and really get down to work on the plan I've laid out. And it's like this energy comes in of, no, you got to get in the boat and just kind of move on to something else. And this emotional turmoil, because I don't think many of you are going to actually go to somebody and say, look, I've got something going on here and I don't know how to deal with it. I've never felt, this pulled down by, grief and emotion, and normally things don't get the better of me. I think some of you are not going to want to do that, and so life is sort of going to pull you then and force you to kind of start your project over, and that in and of itself may rattle you enough as well that maybe there will be some anger there and some as the overall energy that I predicted here for March, that there's going to be acting tough and unbothered will only lead to disaster this month. So admit you need help. So if you're not willing to do that, what the disaster is sort of this, like I said, this ending of what you've got currently going on that you really have, a lot invested in. And so if that gets shut down on you, it's in the end, in the long term, it's a good thing. It's a starting over. So there's always something else. But I think that losing whatever this current project is, or having it go south on you, is going to rattle you in some way. So I want to see here what is going to happen if you were to ask for help here. So the 10 of Wands. So if you were to ask for help, I think many of you are actually terrified that there's going to be a lot there to unpack, and that there's also going to be that to carry forward with you. Like, I don't want to dig into this and have to lay it all out and look at it because it hurts too much. It's going to be, one more thing I have to deal with. But here's the thing. You're going to have to deal with it one way or another, either now or in the future, whether you like it or not. That's sort of, it feels like a very inevitable thing. Like at some point, so either deal with it now and unpack it while you have your other stuff going on, that your project that you're currently happy with, or you're going to be pulled in a totally different direction anyway. You're going to be forced to deal with it at some point. So we have the Knight of Chalices here. And what I see is sort of like this, the Knight of Cups sort of takes off when things are not terribly pleasant as well. So the Knight's sort of saying, I don't want to play this game if it's not it's not feeling very good. The Knight of Cups is also learning to work with emotions as well, since being the cup suit is very much water energy as well. So you are feeling sort of rattled by this, I'm a fire sign. Water's not supposed to, enter into this equation and mess up my well-laid plans, right? But yet that seems to be what is happening, and you're trying to avoid it, is what I'm seeing here. So let me get one last card here. Let's see. So we have Strength. This was at the bottom of the deck, the Strength card. So this is at the root of, and if you know a fire sign, you know how incredibly strong these people can be. So if you are a fire sign, or you have something major going on in your chart with fire energy, it looks to me like you're being asked to pull on your strengths. But what's interesting about the type of strength portrayed here is it's not a brutal strength. It's a sort of allowing. And this is also the card of Leo, by the way, the Strength card. And Leo is a fire sign. And we see the Lion there. And it's sort of this allowing for tenderness and understanding in order to take back your power. And you become stronger and more powerful through self-understanding. If you are willing to, as I said, ask for the help you need and unpack this. Unpack whatever it is that you've got going on emotionally, and don't just, ride away and disappear when it becomes uncomfortable. Pull on your strength and deal with it now, because stubbornness is going to land you in a place that, I think you're going to look back and maybe might have some regret about. And the thing is, eventually it will be all right. Whatever this new beginning is, it's going to sort of be, maybe not quite what you wanted, but it's going to be sort of a reframing of the way you do things. So it's almost just like there are two doors, and no matter which one you go through, it's not going to be bad. The outcome is not going to be bad, but there is an easier road and a more difficult road, because I think eventually this change in perspective will be needed, and if it doesn't come through your stubbornness, it will eventually show up at a later time in on the trajectory of your life, really. So it's sort of now or later, like how would you like this to play out? It's your choice, right? So the next reading we will have will be for April, which will be coming up soon, and we'll see then sort of how the energy is changing or developing as we move forward. So I will have the readings for the earth and air element coming up very soon. So thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please remember to like and subscribe and share with anyone who you think might find it interesting. And I'll see you guys in the next one.